If I'm working with someone who has ADHD, or as I'm working with them, we come up with a diagnosis of ADHD, my first thought is, what's the collateral damage of this? Regardless of their age. And what I mean by that is, clearly, the effect it has on you as you're growing up with ADD, and especially when it's not diagnosed, means you're going to have experiences that begin to undermine confidence, that begin to undermine that sense of feeling smart, of feeling normal. And you don't have the words for it. So you're not telling anybody. Nobody knows. You're alone with it. And that feeling of shame or that feeling of self-doubt just begins to accrue, so that by the time you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70 even. I've seen people diagnosed for the first time when they were 75. But whenever that diagnosis comes, if it comes at all, along the way, it's been brutal as far as its psychological effects on you. So that by the time someone comes to me, I'm thinking we deal with ADD. That's a neurological thing. But we're also dealing with that collateral damage, the psychological effects of having ADD. That is where the work begins. And it can really, really be helpful to begin to put those previous experiences into the right context. You mean that inability to get that degree, or that inability to get very far in my school and getting good grades, you mean it wasn't because I was lazy? Because everybody told me how bright I was, but they also were telling me that I wasn't trying, or that I wasn't trying hard enough, or that I was maybe even lazy. So all of those messages begin to accrue, and it helps to go back and be thinking, you mean that's not what that was about? That's not what that was about. That's when I begin to really feel better about myself, and that's when I begin to really, really take charge of my life and ultimately become very, very much unapologetic about having ADHD.